New on Curiosity Stream.
With my infrared drone, I can see what others can't.
Drone pilot Doug Thron uses his bird's eye view for the ultimate good, saving animals from desperate situations around the globe. Join the rescue effort on a new season of Doug to the Rescue. And
You captured a Confederate steamboat?
We're taking the ship to freedom.
an enslaved crew, a stolen vessel, and a Civil War dash to salvation on impossible escapes. Watch now on Curiosity Stream. Annual plans are $20, just $1.67 a month. Visit curiositystream.com.
This podcast is brought to you by the Washington State Department of Health. When we think about the COVID-19 vaccine hesitancy in the Black community, let's remember, it didn't happen by chance. It's justified in history. But the will to change the narrative is strong today, and our people are lending their voices to the conversation. We're sharing our stories and the reasons that made us choose the vaccine so we can lead the way for others to make a well-informed choice too. To hear our stories, visit hereforuswa.org.
What's up? It's your boy, the Ted Smith. Thanks for listening to the Men's Room Daily Podcast. Want more? Check out the greatest podcast in all the land, The Podcast. Be sure to subscribe and listen to a brand new episode every Tuesday night.
99.9 KISW. We return to the Men's Room with Miles and Thrill.
Your guess is as good as mine on the way to categories today. 10 things that get left behind the most in an Uber. And movies with Tom Cruise. We'll do your guess as good as mine right after the random question. 206-421-ROCK. Hello, Shay. Welcome to the Men's Room.
Random.
Hola, mi bitches.
Hola. Shay, welcome to the program. The random question. Okay. Let's see here. All right, Shay, who ratted you out? Who ratted you out? Your kid?
I have two of them, and yes, they rat me out all the time.
Okay, what do they rat you out for?
Anything. Everything.
Now, do they rat you out?
If I'm trying to be sneaky about something, that my kids don't lie.
The one thing I've definitely realized with kids is like, don't share. You can say, I told my kid a secret. It's like, no, you didn't. You told your kid information that's about to be broadcast, right? Because you can say, all right, well, we got a bunch of people coming over. Oh, God. And even if you just comment like to your wife, like, is Doug coming? Oh, man, I can't stand him, right? So you forget that you've said this. 2 hours later, people show up at your house and you're the kid. Dad, is that the Doug you hate? Like, no, baby, no. That's a different Doug. I'm talking about your Uncle Doug. Dig Doug. Yeah, Doug. So how many times do you think you get in trouble or busted a week by your kids?
Ooh, at least probably 2 or 3 times a week, maybe more.
How old are they?
They are 6 and 8.
Yeah, man, you can't tell them anything. So, you cannot do anything around them. They will repeat everything that they have seen and heard. What kind of stuff do they bust you for?
Man, if everything, any little thing, they rat me out for everything. I can't say nothing. I can't do anything because they're gonna blurt it out to anybody.
All right, okay. How long does it take before they basically blow your cover?
As soon as anybody else is near.
Yeah, that's pretty much how kids work.
Dad was drinking beer.
Mm-hmm. Oh, no, exactly. It's 9 a.m.
Yep.
Dad was in the bathroom for 20 minutes. Like, hey, shut up. Taking a poop. Reason we asked who ratted you out, a disagreement between two brothers about whether they should stop and pick up food took an unexpected turn on Friday. One of them pulled over in front of police headquarters and had the other guy arrested for carrying a gun in the car. Justin Forrest, who is 26 years old, was riding in his brother's car when the two started arguing about whether or not they should grab something to eat. The argument reportedly turned physical at some point. Forrest's brother apparently had enough. He pulled over in front of Chicago police headquarters, got out of the car, and said, "He's got a gun!" Jeez. The brother started yelling at passing cops while pointing toward his brother, who was still in the vehicle. This reminds me of that, "He got weed!" Yeah, right. Chris Rock thing. Officers investigated and found a loaded handgun in Forrest's waistband. According to prosecutors, he does have a license to own firearms in the state, but he is not licensed to carry one in public. Prosecutors charged him with aggravated unlawful use of a weapon and possession of a laser sight. Forrest works as a custodian for Chicago Public Schools, has no criminal background. The judge ordered him to pay $2,000 toward his bail amount to get him out of jail.
How in the world does that conversation turn to that? I love the conversation of, should we stop getting, what should we get? as long as it's with somebody who's at least down with stopping to grab something to eat, and maybe we'll have some input on the matter. But I don't see how that turns aggressive. You know, if you're tired, you don't really want to stop. But even then, I'm like, man, you just want to stop by some Taco Bell real quick. I'm starving. Like if I get
somebody's hangry. Somebody is hangry.
That seems like a weird one to get a fight over.
Right. I love that conversation.
How many arguments have you had over where to go or whether we should stop? Right. That's inevitable. It happens at least 3 times a week. But I can't imagine my wife's like, you know what? I said I want a pizza. You want to get subs. I'm calling the cops. He's got drugs.
This tells me that one of the guys wanted to go and sit down someplace and eat. The other person did not.
Is that what you think?
I believe that because if not, you can always go through a drive-through window. Look, I'm starving and we're going to just go through the drive-through.
I'll shut you up and get you some food.
Let me get a burger. I'm not hungry right now, but we can take care of it. But this person said, no, I want to sit down and get a pizza. I want to sit down and get chicken wings. I want to sit down and get a beer, something. A full meal.
Even then, man, I get excited no matter which way that conversation turns. If we're going through a drive-through, man, what do we get? We got an Arby's over here. We got a burger. Okay, stop
it's
it
not
somewhere.
the worst problem
like
to have.
Denny's, IHOP.
I can always go someplace and find do something. At the very minimum, get a beer. Hopefully.
That is unbelievable, man.
Can't be mad going to
That would
food.
be my thing. Look, okay, if you want to sit down and eat, that's fine. We just got to go someplace where I can get a beverage.
Yeah, that is generally...
That's
But I mean, we've all been in these fights. Just usually it's with your significant other.
Yeah, but I've just never thought, like, you know what, I'm going to get you in legal trouble. I am so mad at you.
They just never know where they want to go. This was between whether or not we want to stop.
Yeah.
Like,
damn, he's got a gun. You're going to get your goddamn brother shot, man.
Well, I just had one. We were driving through like a smaller town, right? It's like, I'm hungry, and they're driving. Like, I need to get something to eat. Like, okay. Well, that works. And by the third place, we drive by, and it's like, we just keep cruising by. So are we going to stop or not?
Right.
Mm-hmm. Like, you don't have to be upset. Like, look, you're the one that I started with. Let's just going to talk about.
That's easy enough.
Yeah. There is something frustrating about that. Like, wait a minute. You told me you're hungry. Yes. Right. And we have just passed 47 restaurants, right? And all of them have different things. And, like, none of this appeals to you. Okay, I can let that slide. But if you continue bitching that you're hungry, like, oh, my God, you realize that all of those businesses we went by, if we go in and give them money, they'll give you food. Like, you can solve this problem. So I don't care if we solve the problem or not. I just don't want to have to hear about it.
Right. Exactly.
I think that's the general rule. You can be as mad as you want. If I have to hear about it, solve it. Eat some goddamn food. Hello, David. Welcome to the men's room.
Hola, bitchola.
Hola.
David, welcome to the program. Random question.
I'm the gentleman that gave you guys the first 3 shots when you did your live radio broadcast to do the diaper repair that got stolen.
Oh, nice. Man. That was like 15 years ago, maybe? Something like that?
You first came on the radio, yes. And I gave you guys, you were doing a show at Harrison Ford, and I stopped off and gave Ted Smith a 5th of vodka, and I hope you ever got it.
Oh, yeah?
You know what I like about this? Just for people that don't understand, so I can't remember the name of the business.
It wasn't up on Capitol Hill?
Yeah.
Somebody broke into it.
It was on Linwood.
Oh, it was in Linwood? Okay.
Oh, yeah. That thing. God, yeah. I remember very clearly drinking there, yes.
Oh, okay.
I do.
I remember that, too. I just had to remember which one it was.
With a very strep throat one time, and I felt like you guys asked me if my God, are you 300 pounds? No, I'm 155. How are you today?
We're doing great, man.
Yeah, man, real good. All right, let's see what we got here for you. Let's go with this one. Personal, professional, whatever the deal is. Who would you say is your arch rival or the thing or the person, the sports team, the coworker, another company? Who is your personal arch rival? And whatever it is. You know, we're Ravens fans, have been for a number of years. Can't stand the Pittsburgh Steelers. They are the arch rival.
Yeah,
simply because they were good for a number of years. Not because there's anything real personal there. It's just they were good.
All right. Let's go with my last company I worked with. I worked for a company called Sturdy Weld. They're a truck company up here in Linwood, right there by the House of Clocks. And we built dump trucks. And our other company was Reliance out of Spokane. And the former company owner died, and Reliance came in and bought us out. And they told me I had 2 weeks, collect my paycheck, or stay with them and go back to zero.
What do you mean go back to zero?
Start all over.
Oh, dude.
You talking about like his vacation time and all that stuff?
Yeah. My former boss, what was his name? Sturdy Welds. Oh, the God. Anyway, the Reliance company came in and bought out Sturdy Weld, and they came in and said, well, you now belong to us. You have to start from scratch. You got no vacation, no pension. You're nothing.
Damn.
So they slammed me back. And so I got a weekend of them, and my bosses were great. They gave me a vacation, paid vacations. My former bosses gave me a raise, and then I went back to a former company, which was called Quejack Marine or Munson's Marine, where I built commercial fishing boats.
Oh, wow.
Professional ocean boats.
That's cool.
So Reliance tried to sue Sturdy Weld for lack of commercial product, but the customer base up here for Sturdy Weld was so strong, nobody would use Reliance as their business base to get their trucks built. You'll see them everywhere. If you look on a mud flap on the back of a truck, if it says Sturdy Weld or STW, which for standby welding was the platform for OSW, on-site welding.
All right. Okay. All right.
So if you see a mud flap on the back of a truck,
I'll flip them off for you.
OSW, old. Well, that was on-site welding, but we called it Old Sturdy Weld.
Now, I understand. Okay. I understand what a mud flap is, and maybe I'm just childish, but when you say mud flaps, I think of an ass. So when you say check out the mud flaps, like one step ahead of you. I will say CBS Radio killed me on this. They just announced this out of the blue. So it used to be you got however many vacation days or whatever it was, but if you didn't take any time off, you got to keep those days. They would roll over. Right?
Correct.
So I got up to 73 days because I'm fresh in the radio. All I want to do is work, right? I want to get this under me, figured out. I'd saved 73 days. And we get the email one day. And so, but keep in mind, they sent out this email right before people were going to leave for Christmas. So say it's like December 15th or something. Mm-hmm. They said, hey, as of the end of this year, whatever year it was, CBS is doing away with all this time. I'm like, wait a minute. I have 73 days accrued that I can take off that you would pay me for, right? And you're telling people 16 days before the end of the year, you got 16 days left to use any of the days. So I basically took off the rest of the year.
Oh, and
I was pissed, man. And our old boss, Bob Phillips, remember, he's like, hey, and it wasn't him for once. It was corporate, but he's like, I don't know what to tell you, man.
But they paid you.
For those days up until the end of the year.
Right.
But I still ended up losing 56 days. I'm like, well, God damn it, man.
Yeah, that sucks.
Yeah, dude. And I mean, a lot of people were mad. I just had more time saved up because I'm working part-time, blah, blah, blah.
The difference is you should get grandfathered into that. And then the new policy starts.
But there were a guy named John Colson we used to work with, and he was one of the big wigs, like sales manager and all this. And I remember him, like, over the summer had said, me and the wife are going to take some trip. We decided to postpone it, but I've saved these additional 2 weeks. No problem. We're going to take like a month-long vacation. He's going to treat his wife to blah, 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 blah. He about lost his goddamn mind when that email.
I bet he did.
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah.
Reese Mass, personal professional. Who is your arch rival? This is a weird story. The Tim Hortons coffee chain is obviously pretty big in Canada.
Massive.
And the government there has just rebuked the company over a way too nosy app. Essentially, the Tim Hortons app tracked customers 24/7. Even if they thought they had opted out of such tracking and even determined when they visited rival chains. The newly released results from the Office of Privacy Commissioner in Canada confirms allegations first made in June 2020 by the Financial Post. In that piece, a reporter discovered that the app had recorded my longitude and latitude coordinates more than 2,700 times in less than 5 months.
Jesus.
And not just when I was using the app. Well, government investigators dug in and concluded that the chain clearly crossed the line, per the Canadian Privacy Commissioner. The app used location data to infer where users lived, where they worked, and whether they were traveling. It generated a, quote, event every time users entered or left a Tim Hortons competitor.
Uh-huh.
A major sports venue, or their home or workplace. A 30-party outfit crunched the data, delivering an average of 10 such events per day on every customer. They report the company was trying to verify trend reports that showed its customers were getting their coffee from rivals and was looking at shifts in location preferences. Besides the public black eye, Tim Hortons won't face any government penalties. It stopped the tracking in August 2020 after the investigation began, and they agreed to ditch the data. that it held. By the way, the chain is in 13 different countries. I did not know that. Most of the 5,100 stores are in Canada, but the company has 600 restaurants in the United States of America.
Really?
Most of them in New York, Michigan, and Ohio, kind of close to the border.
Yeah, I was going to say,
the Rochesters of the world probably have them.
Yeah.
Our closest is White Rock, because I had to look.
All right.
How far away is White Rock?
Probably 2.5 hours to get to the border, and then whatever it takes you to get through.
So, in Tim Hortons, right? Kirk, it's basically just like Starbucks, but with a donut emphasis. Is that right?
I think Timmy's started. Did it start with just donuts and coffee?
I've been there when we took the kids to Toronto. I wanted a cup of coffee, so I had gotten up early and just started wandering through downtown. I only went to Tim Hortons because it was the closest spot to the hotel. I didn't get anything to eat. I literally just got a cup of coffee. But I didn't really look around or anything because they were everywhere. It's like seeing a McDonald's.
Okay.
Yeah, they are everywhere. But I mean, Canadians love them. That's the only reason I really know them. Is like people, they're like, oh, you got to go to Timmy's.
So basically what they've got is the cappuccinos, the lattes of the world, coffee, iced coffee, tea, and then breakfast sandwiches, croissants, McMuffins, and lunch sandwiches. Ooh, you get an Italiano grilled bagel, a chicken wrap. They have French fries.
That was decent.
Yeah, they have, and of course the Timbits and all the donuts and all the baked stuff and everything else.
And I was, yeah.
Do you need an app to track whether or not people are coming into your restaurant as opposed to just watching your own numbers?
I'm just trying to think, what is the competition? The only thing I can think of is an old place, another one of those places that closed down in Wallingford, which is great, called Winchell's. Winchell's was a chain out of Canada, and there was maybe one or two left in the Seattle area.
I mean, I guess Dunkin' Donuts is probably I guess you're right. It is closer to a Starbucks.
But when you consider what they offer, like, do you have a direct competitor, or is it a little bit of everyone? Right? Because if I need a breakfast sandwich, I might go to McDonald's, I might go to Starbucks, right? Because it's pretty standard stuff they have.
Sure.
The only one that can really compete with you would be donuts.
I'm telling you, man, in the donut world here, as many transplants are in Seattle from other places. I'm telling you right now, and I don't know what the truth is. There's no way that they can block a Dunkin', anybody can block a Dunkin' Donuts from coming in here. If you want to be a franchise owner, you want to pay the franchise fee, it's not like they need close-sourced flour or any of the things like where In-N-Out will say, hey, we have this rule where we don't want the restaurants to be too far away from our distribution facilities because we're very particular about where we buy our ingredients from. And we want that to maintain.
I don't think that's Dunkin's.
That's not Dunkin' Donuts' issue. I'm telling you, one Dunkin' Donuts, just one in the area. It's like whenever they open up a new Chick-fil-A. And they got to get
Krispy Kreme.
They got to get police to line up around the block just to get traffic off the side of the road. Just one. Mm-hmm. If you like it, you can go there. If you don't have to go there.
Right.
I think it would be I don't know.
I think it'd be fantastic.
I don't see how you could lose. More of the random question coming up, 206-421-ROCK.
New on Curiosity Stream.
From time to time, we have collisions between asteroids and the Earth.
We track them. We study them. We hope the big one never comes. Don't look up. It's Asteroid Rush. And alligators. They rarely get sick. They even outlasted the dinosaurs. Could they hold the secret to human longevity?
Their blood could have antibacterial applications.
Wade into the investigation on immortal alligators. Watch now on Curiosity Stream. Annual plans are $20, just $1.67 a month. Visit curiositystream.com.
This podcast is brought to you by the Washington State Department of Health. When we think about the COVID-19 vaccine hesitancy in the Black community, let's remember, it didn't happen by chance. It's justified in history. But the will to change the narrative is strong today, and our people are lending their voices to the conversation. We're sharing our stories and the reasons that made us choose the vaccine so we can lead the way for others to make a well-informed choice too. To hear our stories, visit hereforuswa.org.
Well, great balls of fire, Bubba. What happened, Bilford? That crazy son of a Sal blew right through that four-way stop on Main Street and plowed into my cowboy Cadillac.
Your what?
My pickup truck. And I'm pretty sure my leg is broken, Ted. Oh, quit your bitching, Buford, and talk with those side busters at the Advocates Law Firm. When I got busted up last month, well, shoot, they made sure those snakes at the insurance company played fair.
Boy, howdy. Even that creepy so-and-so Kyle earned his keep.
So if you get injured, the advocates get results. AdvocatesLaw.com.
99.9 KISW. The Men's Room returns with Miles and Thrill.
Biggest rock festival in the world. Turning to White River Amphitheater for 3 big days, Labor Day weekend. We'll see you paying the grass. Friday, Incubus and Sublime. Pain. Yes! Saturday, Alice in Chains along with Aaron Jones, Breaking Benjamin and Bush. Sunday, we'll see you for a little classic rock. And Sammy Hagar, George Thorogood, and Queensryche as we celebrate. Supposed to have that 50-year kind of spanning the globe of the.
That was the initial idea. Yeah.
We're doing it this year, though. 3 big days. And each one of those days, join us for the Men's Room Happy Hour and a Half. That's where you get drunk with us, and we exchange drugs.
That pretty much sums it up, right?
Yeah. Don't know what we're doing this year. I just know it's going to be a party for an hour and a half, and we have booze supplied there. As far as the Men's Room Original Ale, I'm assuming.
Very nice, very nice.
All those tickets are on sale now. All those packages at KISW.com, especially if you want to join us for the Men's Room Happy Hour and a Half. You want to go to KISW.com. That's where all those packages are listed for all of the 3 days.
And Mike and I, we're quietly trying to work out a very stupid competition between the four of us.
Yes, we are.
All right, nobody gets hurt. It's just dumb. We saw this thing on a video and said, you know what? That is so stupid. We might have to do that.
Okay. That's going to be a great Labor Day weekend. Hopefully we'll see you there.
Random.
Hello, Stephen. Welcome to the Men's Room.
Hola, gentlemen.
Hola. Stephen, welcome to the program. Random question. Let's see here. This is a good one for you. I know you can answer this one. What are you or have you been known to always wear? What are you known for always wearing?
This is actually hilarious. I'm the guy in the office that always wears an Argyle sweater vest.
Always.
Now, do you do this to be ironic, or do you do it because deep down you truly like the Argyle sweater vest?
So ironically, I do deep down enjoy the Argyle sweater vest, but working in clinics, they always have the AC. It's freezing, so I don't like wearing sweaters because it gets your arms all sweaty. But you wear a sweater vest, it keeps you all nice and warm on your chest.
Now, do you have a nice pressed button-up shirt underneath it that you normally wear?
Yes, absolutely, to the hilt. I dress very professional, slacks, button-up shirts, sometimes ties.
We know it's professional when you call your pants slacks. Have you ever considered wearing a rock concert T-shirt and then still putting on the rather nice Argyle sweater vest on top of that?
No, but I tell you what, I'll rock one at Pain in the Grass when I come up to meet you guys.
That's cool.
You'll be easy to spot. How long?
Right.
Have you always liked Argyle sweater vest, or is this something that hit you in adulthood?
So I think maybe it was just something I kind of grew into, and now I've got about 70.
Do you find?
I was going to ask you how many you had. You had 70.
Do people start gifting you this, like every Christmas, every birthday, you were getting more sweater vests?
No, because I like to buy them specific. So, but people definitely always know, if I randomly don't wear an Argyle vest for that day because I'm just hot or whatever, somebody notices, and it's a very, very big deal.
Okay. What would you say in the world is the premier brand of the Argyle sweater? So, in other words, if you're going to spend top dollar, this would be the one that you're not going to go to the barbecue restaurant wearing. What brand is that?
So I mean, there's quite a few, but really, it's about maybe Newman's. I don't even know if you've heard of it. There's different styles. There's so many companies that make the Argyle sweaters, and you got to be careful because some of them, they'll say it's for a specific size. However, you get it, and it's really 3 sizes too big, and that's just their style of how they make that sweater.
Now, is
the
this
Argyle
something?
design? Yeah,
I understand. You can order anything online, but if you were to go to a brick and mortar, are there places that you just know you're not going to find what you're looking for?
Nobody carries Argyle sweaters.
That's what I was going to ask, because I'm going to be honest, I never look for Argyle sweater vests for all the obvious reasons you can imagine. But it also occurred to me, I don't think I've seen an Argyle sweater vest.
Do you like the V-neck, or are you more the button-up or the crew neck? What is your style that you like the best?
So what I do is they're all V-neck. So because they're V-neck, so you got to be able to rock your nice shirts and have your tie and all that stuff too. So that V-neck helps for that place.
Okay. How old did you say you were?
I'm almost 40. I just sound incredibly young. Oh,
no, you're all right. So you're in my age range. Right when I was in 8th grade, both years, the sweater vest was massive.
Mm-hmm. And wasn't it a big hip-hop thing going on?
Yeah, Boyz II Men, everybody in R&B wore sweater vests all the time.
Maybe that's what it's from, I used to dig Boyz II Men growing up. They were super good. Maybe maybe they put something in my subconscious, and now that I'm an adult.
Yeah, because they were getting laid all the time. What's the most money you've ever spent on a sweater?
Upwards of $100 easy. I mean, you go. So like, there's a specific store in the mall that carries really good sweaters. And I don't want to. Yeah, they're a good company, but they have a lot of flashy clothes, but they have incredibly good sweaters. It's called Buckle. I don't know if it's still a store in the mall.
Okay. Buckle. Sounds like a clown.
Yeah.
Well, look, I'm looking at one right now that's $250. A sweater vest. $250.
But it's not Argyle. Yours is not. Plain.
It is not.
Plain ass, Miles.
No, all mine are Argyle. And then I have, like, the exception is the sweater vest with, like, the specific, like, knitted designs into them that are still basically Argyle patterns. They're using fabric, not colors.
Okay, I got you.
I don't know if it's on the website right now, but if you get a chance, man, check out Macklemore's clothing line.
Oh, right.
Bogey Boys. It's going to be.
I absolutely will.
I think they've got a couple of these, if I'm not mistaken. I mean, it's right up your alley. I'm pretty sure.
When Macklemore came out with the Thrift Shop song, that was my style right there. All those clothes. That's my style.
He's got a cheetah knit vest. So it's like I mean, it's
now that yeah. So let me get this right. You're joining us a Pain in the Grass.
Yes, I will be wearing an Argyle sweater vest when I come on Friday to your guys' booth.
All right, so are you going to be at the happy hour and a half?
The what?
The happy hour and a half?
Yeah.
Okay,
sweet. All right,
man.
We'll definitely know who you are because you're the only person on the hottest weekend of the year in an Argyle sweater.
That's the other tough part. That's Labor Day weekend. There's a chance he's going to be very warm.
Right.
I think he'll at least wear it to the event, and then if he, of course, can pull it off. We got a very good suggestion for this guy. First, Rose in Tacoma says, holy crap, I thought my buddy Gary was the only person that rocked the Argyle sweater vest.
We've got a few buddies who do.
His name is Gary. I feel like you have to. But somebody here says, you guys, you've got to get this guy. And if we can, we will do this. They can make no guarantees. You guys got to get this guy a KISW sweater vest. Maybe the Pain in the Grass one.
They might have made them back in the day. You never know. Honestly, as far as many styles and everything else go, it could have been something that they actually did sell at some point in time. Hair Club's old office back there has a treasure trove of all the things from the 50 years that they've been trying to collect.
Yep.
Just with the KISW logo. There are so many weird things you can't even believe. There are onesies. There are
these for adults.
There are hydroplane or boat suits.
Jerseys, yeah.
They're the whole
no, not the jersey suit.
Like you step in the whole thing. Like it's a onesie basically for the most part. There's all kinds of crazy stuff back there. Letterman's jackets. So I mean, you name it.
We should get back to that, man.
Yeah. I think you can go head to toe and figure out what you've wore your whole life. There's always been two groups of people as far as the kids who like rock and roll. You're either a Vans person or you're a Converse person.
Mm-hmm.
And that continues for the most part.
I have both.
All the way up. Yeah, I mean, you're either one or the other, and it seems like more people who were into Vans were Vans because they were more into skateboarding.
Right.
And the Vans held up better, and they had a better support system and a better cushion to them. And they could take the edges as far as you dragging your foot, dragging your heel, dragging your toe, and not wear them down like we're Converse. You drag your toe, man, and the whole thing will blow up. Your mom basically...
You could walk out of your Converse. Yeah. Trust me. I did it for about a year, and to the point that my buddy called them feet hats. He's like, they're not shoes, because much like a hat, your hat covers the top of your head. He's like, your shoes cover the top of your feet. And I said, look, I am broke. I have no money, but I don't want people to know how bad it is. So while I'm walking on my socks, when you look at me, it looks like I'm actually wearing shoes. Yeah. But legitimately, they were feet hats.
Mike, when you used to walk into like a Kmart or, the equivalent of a department store or whatever it was back in the day, they had a couple things. They had a bend that had all these plastic balls in it.
Yep.
With a little white valve. And I don't think you could really pump those up. But either way, they were just weird looking. They look like what you would imagine, like imaginary planets looking like with swirls.
Yeah, they kind of sparkled and all that crap.
And then right beside that, they had Converse All-Stars. And they were in the same type of bin. And they didn't have a box. They were tied up with the laces. And you threw them in there, and your mom would walk by and pick one up and look at your size in the back, and then throw them in the cart, and that's what you wore for 6 months until you just absolutely ripped them.
Because they were $5.
That was the blue light special right there?
Yeah,
pretty much.
They legitimately, they put it next to the cash register with candy bars, TV guide. and Converse All-Stars. Right?
That's where you got your shoes.
And it's amazing to me now.
So why do they cost me $60 now?
That's what we can't wrap our head around. We're like,
because they got cool again.
They got cool, but they have not improved. And that's one thing I kind of respect about Chucks. You can buy ones that are like extra insulated or they put extra padding, but by and large, if you buy a pair of Chucks, it is the exact same piece of garbage that it has always been, except it costs about 40 times more.
You know, so and you're lucky if you got size more important than color.
Yeah.
So if they're brown, they're brown. If they're orange, they're orange. Just whatever size they can.
How many times did your parents come home, hand you a pair of Chucks,
yellow,
and say, these are yours?
Green.
Right, that was it.
Why did you get this color? That's the only one they had in your size, Miles.
Did you guys do what everybody in my class did, which is just basically attack them with markers and personalize them?
No.
I did once, and my parents made it clear that if I did not pay for them, perhaps, I don't want to take that approach.
All right, then.
Because especially my father, he's like, I don't care what you do. They're your goddamn everyday shoes. You don't have to like them. Get a job, which is what I tell my kid now. Oh, you don't like this? Get a job. You buy them yourself, no problem.
I still never owned a pair of them.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, you're an Air Force One guy.
Air Maxes.
Air Max. Sorry, Air Max.
Well, Air Force Ones are cool too, right? That was our shoe, or like Timberlands, but
yeah, but you're pretty solid about Air Max, right?
Correct.
That is your absolute go-to. I get sunglasses all the time.
Chucks were like a different lifestyle.
It is. But you especially when you see adults, you have a general idea of kind of where they're coming from or what it is they like, just based on their shoes.
Yeah.
If you got Chucks, I go, okay, you like Chucks. Now, are they high tops or are they low tops? If you're low tops, you're a different kind of Chuck wearer than the average high top. If you're wearing Chucks and you got the wallet chain, go, okay, I kind of understand where you're coming from, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
All that stuff, man.
Reason we asked, what are you known for always wearing? People are now sharing hidden dress code meanings.
Uh-oh.
So believe it or not, certain things you wear let people know who maybe you have a common interest in with.
If you're aware that you're doing it. I looked at some of the things on the list, and I'm like, someone might approach me to solicit something, and I would not understand why they targeted me. And then they might point out, you're wearing this thing, and you go, I did not know that. I had absolutely no idea about that, particularly the shirts on cruise ships. Yes. Oh, I did not realize. Again, I just went on the cruise like 3 years ago. It was what it was. It was fine. I did not realize what was being communicated just based on what people were wearing. And now that I think back to this particular casino that they had on the ship, I understand now why certain people acted a certain way. But I had no idea at the time.
So, okay. You wear a pineapple print shirt or anything on a cruise. Yeah. Anything with pineapple print.
You knew this?
It's been going around, yes.
Means you are?
You're a swinger.
You are, in fact, a swinger.
Oh, nice.
I'm wondering what's weird about that, though, is having worked in the restaurant industry for a lot of years, the pineapple is a sign of the hospitality industry.
Oh.
Right? So you will meet a lot of people that are either rocking pineapples on their shirts or have, like, pineapple tattoos. And what that tells you, if you know what you're looking at, either they're from Hawaii or more than likely they work in the industry and they're going to be there for the long haul.
And I've heard that if, somebody has any kind of pineapple painting or decor in their house, that means if you're coming over to their house, they're
yes, welcome mats upside down. Some people
it's upside down though.
We'll put it on their cruise ship door.
Yeah.
So there's a pineapple there, like, oh, look, I'm on vacation. That's
I see you got an upside-down pineapple, brother.
Mm-hmm. I mean, in my words, we should be trying in, like, at the Econo Lodge.
Yes.
I try it everywhere now.
Basically, what you're saying is, if you're but the problem is, you need to have somebody with you.
Yeah.
Correct. If you're a swinger, it's not just you being a solo artist sitting there.
Miles is just DTF over here.
Yeah.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
Miles sitting on a seesaw by himself.
He's not swinging. He's just by himself.
I'm by myself in a hotel. Yeah. So maybe Doug will knock on the door. I don't know. But there is a Hawaiian pineapple shirt. It might be a great social experiment just for the day. The problem is you can't be single walking around with this thing on.
Sure you can, because you just say, oh, I didn't know. But since you propositioned me, yeah.
Is that the game?
Yeah, play stupid. It works.
Okay. Pineapple print in the suburbs. There is an upper middle class community that is well known and places some sort of pineapple decoration on their front porch to signify they are swingers. My friend's friend moved nearby. Since it was summer, they thought this gold pineapple wreath for the doorway would be a great addition to the new place. First week there, they were greeted by a couple that came to their door with some bottles of wine ready to party at 11 o'clock at night. Quite the awkward first meet with the new neighbors. They just thought it was something that you do. Okay, sailor earrings. It's an old sailor's tradition to wear a golden earring. Some of the predominant fisherman towns have their own specific type of gold earring. So if you see a guy, let's say a Dutch guy, wearing a big gold earring with a detailed design, you know he comes from a fisherman town.
Okay.
Golden earrings traditionally and historically were done in case a fisherman would fall overboard.
Huh.
For whatever reason, I guess that let people know where you were from.
All right.
So if you were
that makes sense.
You could eat through your earring. Sunflower lanyards mean the wearer has a hidden disability. Believe it or not, this is big in England. Like staff will recognize them and offer assistance. If you do have, that basically says without saying like, look, I need help, that you might need assistance.
Huh. All right.
So maybe like having a first alert medic necklace or something of that nature.
You wear a sunflower lanyard and nothing.
The guy got the tattoo on his chest that says, do not resuscitate. I mean, that pretty well says it right there. Unlucky year color. I guess this is a thing in China. Your zodiac year is your unlucky year.
That seems...
Zodiac year?
Yeah. They do it by the year. So you hear like the year of the ox, the year of the dragon, right.
Which occurs every 12 years. The way to mitigate the unluckiness is to wear some form of the color red each day. Doesn't need to be complete red, just something that has red a part of the pattern. Hat color meetings. This is probably a very Norwegian specific thing, but the color of your hat says your availability when you're hiking in the mountains. Red hat means taken. Green hat means available.
Let's go.
And orange means that you're open for a chat. So the idea you should go to a Norwegian country, wear a green hat with an upside down pineapple shirt.
Count on it, brother.
Take a Norwegian cruise. Wear a green hat and something with a pineapple. Coordinating colors of work. Used to wonder why certain people in my office would wear the same colors as each other sometimes. Turns out they were listening to a radio station in New York City that would suggest a color for you to wear every day. What? They didn't have to think their way through. So the article says people are sharing the reasons they wore what they wore. Flower behind the ear in Hawaii. What does that mean?
I know it has to do with like a woman's availability, but I don't know which ear means what.
If it's on the left side, she's single.
She's married.
Oh, dang it.
See, Ted, you're going to get us in trouble.
So you need to get on the cruise ship with a flower behind the right ear, the pineapple shirt on, and the green hat.
White shirt. Says I'm desperate.
White shirt and blue pants combo.
Mormon.
Pretty much. It's definitely a faith-based situation.
Somebody, right.
Someone's knocking on your door or leaving you alone. So they said in this instance, the Scientologist wore a white shirt and blue pants in Clearwater.
Well, sure.
Now, when I was growing up and spending my summers in that area, that's basically the area where my dad lives, they were not called Scientologists. They were followers from Reverend Moon.
Right.
And they were called Moonies. And they basically owned Clearwater and the Dunedin downtown area. And you got to remember, it's 95 degrees. They're the only people in the state wearing long pants other than employees that have to.
Right.
And shirts that are button-up shirts everywhere you go. So if you're outside, if you're at the beach, you see these guys and they're wearing
You know who they are.
You know exactly what's going on.
Real quick, Miles, someone adds the gold earring. Not only did it tell you where to take the body if you should drown, right?
Okay.
But beyond that, they said it's gold, so if they can't bring your body back, they can use the gold to pay for your burial with it.
Huh. Oh. Interesting. Polka dot caps in West Virginia. I know a little bit about this. There's actually a town called Polka, and the high school is the Polka Dots.
Oh, my God.
Yes. Says, when I was a teenager in West Virginia, working class, multiple generation kids wore these funny-looking polka dot caps with downward pointing brim, mostly worn by kids who had decided that they wanted to be welders.
Huh.
They did not want to go to college. They're welding caps. And welder at the time was a job that you wanted to have in the area. You made a ton of money.
Sure.
You were always able to get a job, and half the time that other states and other places would hire you, so you got to travel a lot. So it's like the equivalent of being like an airline pilot in West Virginia, where there were no planes. Shoestring belt, you guys know what that means?
No.
You are a skateboarder in a lot of places.
Oh, all right.
A red hat pre-Trump era. Pre-Trump, someone told me that a red hat in my town was a sign that you were selling meth. I got approached a lot, never knew why. All right. And a handkerchief in the back pocket.
Man, I feel like I've heard this one, but I don't know.
In the back pocket is something that, as they said, gay leathermen or women wear to symbolize that they are on the hunt for a date. So here you go. Get on the cruise ship with a pineapple shirt, the green hat, and put a handkerchief in your back pocket. You're going to get something.
I'd also wear the sunflower lanyard just to be like, that way if it's bad, it's,
I'm not all right. Your guess is as good as mine. Coming up, our categories today, the top 10 things that people leave behind in their Uber rides, and movies with Tom Cruise. You are listening to The Men's.
New on Curiosity Stream.
With my infrared drone, I can see what others can't.
Drone pilot Doug Thron uses his bird's eye view for the ultimate good, saving animals from desperate situations around the globe. Join the rescue effort on a new season of Doug to the Rescue. And
You captured a Confederate steamboat?
We're taking the ship to freedom.
an enslaved crew, a stolen vessel, and a Civil War dash to salvation on impossible escapes. Watch now on Curiosity Stream. Annual plans are $20, just $1.67 a month. Visit curiositystream.com.
This podcast is brought to you by the Washington State Department of Health. As we continue to listen, learn, and grow, we are amplifying Black voices and perspectives in an effort to start a new COVID-19 vaccine conversation. We're sharing stories intended to help us navigate this unprecedented time together and to co-create solutions in support of the Black community. Hear these stories at weconsiderwa.org.
Realtors abide by a code of ethics. This is Article 9 in action. Beth, a first-time homebuyer, knew nothing about the home buying process, except that she wanted to buy a home. But her realtor had the expertise to make sure Beth understood every document, even giving her copies to review with her lawyer so Beth could close on her first home with confidence. Complicated things explained in simple terms. The difference between an agent and a realtor is real. Realtors are members of the National Association of Realtors. That's who we are.